Florida man. Woo! I told you, wasn't going to beat Bama. Now, I will say Bama didn't beat y'all as bad as I thought they was going to, but let's be honest. Y'all put together the best game offensively y'all have ever played against current modern-day Bama, and it still wasn't enough. Oh, man. Well, back to sucking. What happened to that guarantee? I'm waiting on that guarantee, man. Come on. Well, the shoe was on the other foot tonight. Once again, it was Florida's lack of discipline that cost them this game. There were several times that drives were extended because Florida could not or would not act like they had any sense. Florida could have won that game. Florida absolutely could have won that game. Poor clock management. If you take away the touchdown that Alabama scored at the end of the first half, that's a different ball game. If you take away the extra, if you take away the wasted timeouts, they would have had the ability right there to call a timeout, and they probably could have got another pass off. There is a lot of things in this game that could have went Alabama's direction if they knew what they were doing, but they don't. They don't. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that that Florida's the better team, because while you may have the offensive capability and you may have the defensive capability, you guys still play, well, the way you played tonight. Kyle Trask is a heck of a quarterback. There's no doubt about that. But Alabama just has too many weapons. I don't feel like Alabama made the correct adjustments in the second half. Florida was able to mount a comeback. Alabama almost choked. Almost choked. Yep. Tip of the cap for saying that Alabama was going to score 52. Do what it can, my man. You look at Najee Harris, what he had, like 5 touchdowns tonight. Devontae had a ton of yards, touchdowns. Mechie making catches out of his mind. Without Kyle Pitts, I'm telling you right now, without Kyle Pitts, Florida is a different football team. They cannot play the way they played tonight. Kyle Pitts is probably the best player on that team, maybe besides Kyle Trask, but an absolutely incredible player. For the most part, I feel like Kadarius Toney did a good job, but he didn't have the game that he needed to have to beat Alabama. There's Bama and Clemson and everyone else, just like the last half decade. Yep, that was a great game. Absolutely a great game. There's about 30 of you guys in here right now. Go ahead and hit the thumb there, because I don't think I sound, or at least you guys couldn't hear me. But I was calling the game as it went. It was a great game. I really enjoyed that game. I enjoyed the Notre Dame game better. Where am I at? Quick negative, sir. Let me ask you a question. I don't know what kind of quick trips y'all got, but do they? I bet they don't have nothing like that at the quick trip. What an embarrassment, Florida. Good Lord, what an embarrassment. Going out there talking all that smack and just getting slapped around. QTs in North Georgia suck. Not all of them, but some of them. Whew. It is chilly out here tonight, man. I came down here a little bit earlier. I didn't realize how long the end of the game was going to stretch out. Racetracks are pretty good, T. Davis. I do like racetracks. I like their ice cream machine, to be honest with you. But yeah, what a good game. Whoever is playing Alabama, unless it's Clemson, I think Alabama's probably going to be the number 1 seed. Clemson's probably going to be number 2. I don't know who number 3 is going to be, and I don't know who number 4 is going to be. But whoever will win that game, it really comes down to that. Which one of ever those 2 teams were better that night is the one that is going to win. Tennessee Vols should fire their coach. They can't. They've fired everybody in the world. They can't get another coach down there. Nobody wants that job. Yes, Bama is balling this year. This is probably one of the best offenses that Bama has had in a long time. However, both teams are beatable. Both teams are beatable. The refs allowed Florida to hold all night. Yeah, there was a lot of questionable calls again in this game. I wish if you're not going to call pass interference every time there's pass interference, then don't call pass interference at all. Let them play. Let them fight it out. That's just the way I feel. Michael Hogue says, Big Dawg Brett, here is my teams: Alabama, Clemson, Texas A&M, and Ohio State. Your thoughts? I think Ohio State should not be in the bid at all. I believe you play 5 or 6 games. That's not near enough to compete to compare a resume to teams that have played 8, 9, or 10 games. If they play one more game than you, even with a loss, and you have a stronger strength of schedule, I feel like you should get in. If you look at Texas A&M, they have one loss to Alabama, who, yeah, I mean, good night. If you say Alabama's not one of the best teams in the country, something's wrong with you. They have one loss to Alabama. And, yeah, I think that they had like the 9th hardest strength of schedule in the country, Texas A&M did, and they only have one loss. I would easily put them in the number 4 spot or number 3 spot. Championship holders to a team who barely had a regular season record. Yeah, I agree. I think that when you have to change the rules to allow you to play in a conference championship game, that should tell you how, for the most part, meaningless that game is. And then to turn around and watch how they played in that game was a joke. Paul S. said, Bama about to give me a stroke. The one thing Kyle Trask could not have done in that situation was to take a sack, in which he did. It was a great championship game, but I feel like it started to get away from Alabama there at the end. I thought they played a little too conservative on defense. No, they didn't. The refs literally penalties Florida back in the game. Yeah, penalties. I tell you what I saw tonight for the first time in a long time. They were calling holding penalties against Alabama, and I haven't seen that in years. That's just one of those things they don't call against Alabama, but they did tonight. So there were several penalties, but I will tell you the one thing that I didn't agree with was what they did to Dickerson. That was pretty low. Thus, Florida, but is what it is. Florida probably played their best game of the season tonight. It's probably the best game that they have played in probably 4 or 5 years, but it wasn't enough. Sorry. Florida's not there yet. Georgia's not there yet. If Georgia would have played Alabama tonight, they'd have lost too. So, before you get all upset at me for saying how bad Florida is, I'm going to tell you right now, Georgia couldn't beat them either, even with JT Daniels at the helm. Sorry, not happening. I did not expect that from Florida. You are correct. I really thought Florida was going to struggle more. I thought Alabama's defense was going to show up a little better than they did. They played a lot of soft secondary routes, and they were getting tore up over the middle. And they couldn't seem to stop Kyle Trask from running 5 yards every time he wanted to. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. He's a quarterback. You should be able to load the box. Where they let him rush in for a touchdown, that's not very Alabama-esque on defense. It was terrible. Yeah. He said I threw up. 2 times Florida threw something and lost. Somebody had to have a conversation with the team before they go, don't throw no shoes tonight now. So it's not a shoe throwing party. So yeah, pretty interesting. All right, guys, well, that's it for me tonight. Great game. Had a great day of watching football, but I'm tired, man. I think Alabama's going to have to make some adjustments. I don't know, I think that part of me kind of thinks that Alabama was kind of looking past Florida a little bit, but I don't know, man. I didn't. Dan Mullen did cost y'all that game. Absolutely, Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen lost that game. In my opinion, did Najee Harris win the Heisman tonight? Well, there's 2 things that are stopping me from saying absolutely yes. The first one is that is that Mac Jones threw for a record number of yards in the SEC championship game. But Najee Harris, good night, like 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns in one game against, one of the highest ranked teams in the country. It's pretty impressive. I couldn't pick a Heisman winner. If I had to pick a Heisman winner right now, I would have to choose between I'll have to pick between Najee Harris, Devontae Smith, Mac Jones, and it's unfair that you got 3 of those on one team. And Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm not sure what time I'll be on tomorrow, Michael. These refs were horrible. Bama couldn't even breathe on Florida receivers. I agree. Just a lady in Alabama. Now, here's what I will say. Hats off to Greg showing up in the stream over here. Congratulating you guys. So far, the classiest Florida fan of the night. He showed up and said, hats off to you guys. Good job for you, sir. Dan Mullen not running out of the clock at the end of the first half cost them. Absolutely did. They had an opportunity to run that clock out, chose not to. Brett, don't do that. YK, they was flags. Don't do that. You know there was flags. There was flags all over the field constantly. Alabama was getting called for some, in my opinion, some of them were ticky-tack calls. Some of them was flat out a penalty. I mean, there's just no escaping it. 5 touchdowns for Najee. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's one player scored 35 points on your team. Wow. And not only did he score 35 points, he did it in an SEC championship game. That guy's a first-round draft pick. I'll tell you what, Florida put up a hell of a fight. They really put up more of a fight than I thought they were going to. I was really impressed. There's like 50 of you guys in here. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. What's going on, Nate? What's up, WS? I am going to go ahead and point out for you. Go ahead and point this out for you right now. Florida is going to end the season with at least 3 losses. So Georgia might, but Florida definitely is right now. So it is what it is. They're going to be doing bowl projections and all this stuff pretty soon. It's going to be really interesting how everything pans out. I feel like as a Georgia fan, absolutely had to root for Alabama in this game. There's no doubt. The reason I rooted for Alabama in this game is because I cannot have Florida, which is an SEC East team, get an SEC championship before Georgia does again. I just can't have that, is what it is. But hats off to the Florida team. Hats off to the Florida players. Hats off to the Alabama team and Alabama players and coaches and staff for both teams. You guys put on a heck of a game. You guys put on some of the best entertaining football we've seen in a long time, so I really appreciate you guys. To all you Florida fans, probably hating on me right now. Hey, man, it's just what it is. It's just football. We all trash talk, but I appreciate you guys being here. Come back, stick around, enjoy the live show. You guys will have I'm sure you guys will get on a New Year's Six bowl game. WS says, hats off to no Gators, dirty players. Not all of them, sir, but some of them. You guys have a great day. God bless. Hit the thumbs up. Go Dogs.